Hi, guys. We have mascots again today. Seems to be a regular occurrence.
Well, they like coming here.
They do like coming here. It gives them lots of room to run around.
I've got a lot of room at home, so I've fixed the backyard so they can do the backyard.
I don't think I've ever seen them go out the backyard.
They used to always go out the backyard before we had the... When we put in a new decking, then this little shit here found ways of escaping because we'd find her out in the street.
Oh.
So we stopped opening the door to it.
Oh.
Now I found out what it was. It wasn't the decking, it's the stupid people that I sacked. They cleared all this area because I was trying to get extra work and I wanted to re-stub part of the house. They cleared these gaps along the side of the house and that left great big holes there for the dogs to get out. So I fixed that and, they spent, she spent about an hour, the little stupid thing. And I was watching for about 10 minutes and she was full on just running zoomies from one end to the other, then stop and look, wait for something and take off again. What was it, recordings?
Yes, I was just making sure.
Those, well, after today's, and I did a
Yeah, I was about to mention
40-minute
that.
thing with Anne and all of a sudden it says, we get to turn off the sound recording and the screen flow recording. It basically said there's nothing recording.
Yes, that's why I was just checking. We've already had one freak out today of that not recording, so.
And then it turned itself off. And I was resetting up to re-record the 40 minutes and hit record and said, no, you've got to finish the recording, it's recording. And I thought, but you've already been turned off.
Technology.
Yeah.
Well, at least it worked, though.
Yes, at least it did work. It saved me having to, well, I wouldn't have had enough time to redo it.
Yeah, so that was very lucky. So that's why I'm just checking everything. Paranoid.
Paranoid.
Yes.
Well, it's like the Sony camera. It doesn't tell you that it's not going to give you a warning it's getting hot. It's just going to stop your recording.
I know, it happened to us the other day.
And it wasn't a hot day.
Yeah, and the camera didn't even feel that hot. But that was frustrating as well because we were using it to record something that we were shooting, so it's not like I could see it on the back of the camera.
But we couldn't turn it off, remember?
Yeah, and then it wouldn't turn off.
You flicked the on and off switch and it just stayed on the whole time. We had to take the battery out and turn it off.
Technology. It's frustrating. Makes our lives easier sometimes, but other times it is not.
Well, I do like the new gimbal, the RS4 Mini. So far, I really like that.
That tracking thing's really good.
That tracking just sticks like...
Yeah, it's really good.
I did the thing with Anne yesterday, which was a fun shoot, because I told Anne I'm shooting my way. None of your fine art noon, no nothing, I'm shooting my way now. I shoot my way or no way. And we were doing my bunny head series of bunny head messed up, and I put Anne into an elderly diaper, a straight jacket, the original bunny suit. She's holding guns and chainsaws and all other things. We tried to do the Kill Bill, but it just didn't work.
Why not?
So it needed the yellow, needed to be in colour.
Right. Well, that's good.
I had that camera on that the whole time. Again, it turned off halfway through recording. That's why I sat down and had a look and then found overheating on standard. It wasn't set on to high.
Right.
Which was a pain. I would have thought, I know some cameras have got, you don't want a fan in the camera though, because then if you're recording sound, you've got
It's going to be noisy.
But I would have thought they'd they could have it liquid cooled.
Liquid cooled.
Yes.
How would they put
weigh a ton. They do liquid cooled computers. Oh.
Shows how much I know.
In fact, some of the super powerful computers are actually submerged in water, the whole computer.
This doesn't sound very safe.
Why?
Well, what if it blows
It's
up?
sterile water.
But,
Why is it going to blow up?
I don't know, because it's electronics and water. Doesn't that, boom?
Pure crystal clear water doesn't allow electricity.
Really?
Yeah, but put a little bit of salt in there and then instantly. Nearly got killed because of a dumb company trying to get me to sell their shit.
Oh.
And it was showing putting a light bulb underwater.
Why would they?
And then someone showed me, this is the most dangerous thing he's ever seen. He said, watch this. And it was connected to a trip fuse. And you just sprinkle a little bit of salt in the water and instantly trip the fuse.
Jesus. That doesn't sound safe at all.
It wasn't safe. They're a dodgy company. They used bullshit techniques to, like government selling bullshit. Telling you fibs.
Fibs always.
Yes,
Well, it sounds like you had a fun Monday with Anne. How was the rest of your Easter? Did the Easter bunny come to you?
yeah, but I don't really eat chocolate anymore.
Oh.
So Shree's just going to eat it all. But she's on a diet.
Okay.
No, it's all right. I cooked dinner. No, I shouldn't have my daughter up for tea because their kids. So around just after tea, they start to go feral and they need to go to bed. So basically, I don't even get to talk to her.
Because you're cooking and then they have
I'm
to leave.
cooking and they leave.
Yeah.
And so like I keep on saying, but she goes, well, I cooked your chicken dish and I modified it to my chicken dish.
It's not my chicken dish.
No, it's not. I modified it. I got rid of I put it in mine. I dropped a couple of things and put some extra things in it, which
I've
made it
made it
even better.
twice. A friend told me it was really nice in winter and I've made it twice.
I've made it heaps more than that.
So it's not my dish.
No, it's not. I changed it.
My friend.
I don't even know what it's called. It's a Mexican. It's Mexican. It sort of has a bit of the texture of chickpeas, but they're about that big. It's corn. So they soak the corn and the corn explodes and boop, and then that's what you put in it. And even Anne goes, what is this? This is amazing texture. It's only got a slight corn taste to it, but I put that in with it and it made a massive difference. I did enjoy that. And yeah, I changed a couple of things. Yeah, I suppose I didn't have any Monterey Jack cheese and I forgot. Which is the cheese I use instead of Monterey Jack? Is it Gouda or Edam?
I don't know.
Some assistant you are.
I think you use Gouda.
Gouda. I need to buy some more Gouda then.
I think so.
You think so? So the weekend, yeah, I edited and cooked.
Fun.
And I watched a movie you said I should watch.
And you liked it?
I liked it. And I don't want to watch it a second time because I reckon I'm going to pick holes.
You don't normally watch movies a second time, though.
I know, but this is a movie I think if I watched it a second time, I'd pick holes. I already saw one or two holes that didn't make sense. Like if someone's chasing you and you're hiding in the bush, you know they're not far away from you, you wouldn't light a cigarette.
I said the exact same thing.
You would smell it.
I said the exact same thing.
Or just before that when he's like shot at a car and then gone past. Why did he run back? Why didn't he just back? And he left his car in the middle of the road.
I don't know.
I mean, nobody's ever going to come down this road.
I thought the same thing about the cigarette thing. I was like, why would you light that up when someone's chasing you? That's so stinky. It's going to immediately point out where you are.
Yeah.
Aside
And
from
the
that,
frozen legs of lamb and chicken and that on the lawn, it was like, why would you put it there? I'm not giving anything away because they'll see it when they see it.
It's called Strange Darling, by the way.
But I did like it.
I think when I asked the other day if you had seen it and you said you had, I think you were thinking of Don't Worry, Darling.
It was Don't Worry, Darling.
With Harry Styles.
Yes, it was. Too many darlings.
All of them.
I think, spewing, so I think it's for free on Prime.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's all right. Oops. I bought it, but I'm not going to watch it again because I think I will watch it again because I got interrupted a lot by Shireen Ann, so like I didn't even see the bit where she killed a man. So, No, I didn't pick it. See, I was waiting for the twist at the end, and then you said, no, the twist, and then, I picked that up way before.
Well, you're just too clever, Riz. Much
There's a couple of things
more clever
I
than
wanted
me.
to find out.
Anyway, it's a good movie. I highly
Does
recommend.
ketamine make people froth at the mouth like rabies?
I've never heard of that. It's they give it to
see,
people
that
in
was another-
hospitals.
That was another thing that I was...
They know that they give it to people in
See,
hospitals.
when he started frothing, I just thought, it must be fentanyl.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
Because I know they give it to people in hospitals, so I don't know. But
Hospitals.
anyway, enough about spoil. We didn't want to spoil it too much if people watch it.
No, well, these are little things they're not going to know until...
Yes.
Yes. And that's it, is it?
What? I was asking you about your weekend.
I told you. Well, I got up in my roof.
What were you doing in the roof? You big
stupid
cats on the
me.
roof.
No. You know how I keep my boxes when I buy things? But then we go to sell something and I can't find the box for it to go into.
Were they at home in your roof?
Oh, there was, yeah, but not the ones I was looking for here.
Oh.
The ones I was looking for here, I don't think I ever got the boxes. So I think there's, a couple of them were because I was an ambassador for companies. They just gave me a brand new lens and then give me a box. Oops.
Oh my gosh.
There's a hole down there. I dropped the dog down it. Well, you don't have to stay down there because I can't sit like this.
Murderer. Drop your
feel a
dog.
bit. There's your father sitting like that. It's all right. You can sleep in the basket with the terror. So, because we live in like a split level house, which is like 4 splits, but above our kitchen dining room area, the ceiling's got a fair bit of height. So I floorboarded a little bit of it, just to use as a storage space. So I ended up deciding to floorboard the rest of it because I've run out of storage space, and there's all these things that I don't want to throw away or sell, but they're taking up room. Like
Why don't you want to throw away or sell them?
Because it's something that's like, one day I might need it. Like some of the stuff I bring down here. So some clothes, which I don't know if I'll ever wear that again. If I leave it at the studio, it can be used in the studio, but if I do need it.
So I've got so many clothes like that. I'm too terrified of throwing away.
Well, that's what we're doing. So Shree's got some cooking stuff and I have some other stuff. I decided just to put it in those plastic tubs and stick it in the ceiling. It's always there.
Yeah.
And then it's freeing up cupboard space. So I got up there and then realised that half of the attic is full of boxes. So as I'm moving the boxes to lay the thing, I was saying, I don't even own this. In fact, I haven't owned this for like 15 years. I've still got the box for it. So I was shoveling all that out. Then I was seeing there was a box for a toaster. Why would I need the box for the toaster?
I don't know. Maybe you want to look at it and remind yourself of that toaster that you had once.
No, we still have the toaster.
Oh.
You're not going to sell a toaster, are you?
I don't know. You might.
Oh, they're $25.
No, you've got a
$1.
fancy one that's got like a little countdown timer on it. I think that was a bit more than $25.
Oh, yeah, but so you...
I like your countdown
Has the
thing.
toaster got a box? I can't see someone asking
I think
that.
they would. People have asked dumber things.
Oh, that sewing thing, it really annoys me. The Leica lens I sold because it's just too sharp. I know, it's really dumb. Buy a lens that's too sharp. I don't like it, it's too sharp. So I don't sell it. And I saw it advertised most places around about 5. And I had the box, it was in pristine nick, not a mark on it. And I started at 4.8. Well, after 4 months, it's down to 3.8. I go onto eBay and all of that. They're still sitting around 4.5. I think, but I'm not using it. Finally, someone contacted me, came out. He goes, I'll give you 3.5.
Oh, God.
It's like, who drops that much off anything?
Yeah.
It just meant if you drop that much, it's just how overpriced did you have it?
Yeah, for sure.
So I just, no, it's all right, go back home. And went to go back home and well, you know, I can get it cheaper in Vietnam because he's going to Vietnam
Then
next
get
week.
it there.
And I said, well, just get in Vietnam. He goes, I really want to take it with me. Well, the first thing you do when you go to Vietnam, buy it. It'll save on your luggage. He ended up managed to find some extra money in his pocket. Why would you come out with less money too?
Yeah, that's annoying.
Anyway, it's one less thing that's sold. I've only got one lens up for sale.
You managed to get rid of the rest of them.
Yeah, it's only the 85 that's still up there.
Very good.
Very good. Yes. I was going to go somewhere with that, but I forgot where I was going. So I got poodly interrupted.
By me?
Yes. Oh, who else is in the room?
The dogs, I don't know. And you sold a lens. Yeah, the lens
Yeah,
last
that's the other-
week.
Yeah.
And the guy that bought it off you came in here and was like, oh, I know you guys off YouTube. I thought that was really cute.
It was really cute. Well, then I had that thing the other day. Did we talk about this last time?
I don't
When I
remember.
went over the shop, got recognised twice.
Once for fishing.
One was for fishing. So I haven't done anything in the fishing industry for like I did some shoots
shows
for
how
Bill about
memorable you
25
were.
years ago. But
Shows how memorable you were in the community.
that dickhead,
No, I thought you were memorables
that
with your
dickhead with the
flies.
stupid PA. Oh no, you weren't my PA.
I wasn't your PA back then, so you can't even say that.
I just did.
Well, that wasn't correct and factual. They're going to fact check you.
Fact check me.
Yes.
Yes. And so what did you do on the weekend?
I went to my friend's place on Thursday night, and her boyfriend is a producer here, and me and her were just hanging out, having some drinks. And
Producer and DJ?
Well, he doesn't really play too many of his of other people's songs. So he's still
He
a
still
DJ.
does.
Not really anymore. Predominantly all of his set. It's like he used to be a DJ, whereas now he predominantly only plays songs that he's either remixed or produced himself. So he's still DJing his stuff, but he doesn't.
Well, it's not really DJ because they're not jumping tracks. It's already pre-produced to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not during the show he's going, oh, I'm going to pick this song.
Yeah.
So it's just producing.
Yeah, he's a producer
So
now.
where does Dom Dollar sit in this?
He still plays other people's songs.
Right. Yeah, that's it. I thought.
Yeah. So he plays he does make his own songs, but then he also still plays other people's
So what
songs.
happens? So people say with Res Mouse or Dead Mouse or Res when a lot of their stuff is either written or produced, but then they drop in the Prodigy or
Yeah, it's
sort of like part DJing.
Yeah, I wouldn't know how you'd.
That's I was trying to work it out. It's like when Dead Mouse did Miami.
When he played Martin Garrix's.
Martin
But
Garrix.
he's done the troll remix.
Yeah,
of
I know,
that,
but
so yeah,
that was
funny. But no, Ish mainly only plays predominantly. But
so he's more like Newlex.
yeah,
Although is Newlex putting other people's stuff in his anymore? It's just his own. Now?
it's very rarely. He will sometimes put in like a song that's one of his songs that someone else has remixed. Like if someone remixes one of his songs that he's really liked,
Their remix.
yeah, he'll drop that in there. But it was originally his, but he likes what someone else has done to his song, so he might drop that in.
But he doesn't do a song and then maybe drop a vocal out of this person's song or a bass line out of this person's song.
I don't know.
So it's not even producing, it's more writing then.
Well, that's what
That's enough. No, producing is producing with other people's sounds, like getting samples or maybe he's getting samples.
Yeah, I don't
But then I see Rez, a lot of her samples now she's writing. Well, a lot of Dead Mouse's sounds he makes himself. So we must have subgenres. Yeah, it's got to be a subgenre.
Anyway, Ish was working on a new song and he called me and Vicky and from where we were having drinks, he's like, I need both of you, I need a vocal sample. And
See, I wanted you to do vocal samples and you said you wouldn't. You're too
he just got me to
embarrassed.
say time. I just
With
had
that
to say
accent. Why have you got that accent on
He
it?
was going to auto-tune it and stuff, so Vicky had to say it with because she's got a higher pitch voice than I do. And then I just had to repeat it a few times so that he could just pick the one. And he didn't want me to like sing or anything. He just needed me to say one word.
Well, I was trying to do that with your song, putting your words into the song. I can't believe how many friends I've got.
But then, yes, he put us both saying one singular word into a song. And I was like, hey, Ma, I've made it.
Have you asked him for royalties? No. I would. I'd hit him up for royalties.
So I thought that was cool. And then we went to an event on Friday night, which was, I think I'm getting too old. Like, the crowd was just doing my head in. They were all like 18 and I was like, I'm old. There was people in the line behind us and they were like, I think there was some of them and then their friends had come to meet up and they were all just going, oh wait, you're 20 now, aren't you? It's like, yeah, how old are you? I'm 18. I was like, oh no, don't make me spend hours with these people. And they're just, I don't know, I think people at that age, they haven't learnt etiquette of going out. Like pushing in front of people in toilets is, when there's massive queues, is just straight up rude. Like,
well, do you want to do that or would you rather than piss on your foot?
well, actually, Jared said at one point he was waiting for me because the friggin' line to piss was so long. And there was like a little couch area, so he was sitting there waiting and I think he said something to someone about something or other, I don't know, but then someone was like, oh yeah, someone just pissed there and it was right where Jared was sitting. He's like, oh, gross. But then even like in...
Does that?
I know. So the crowd was not it. And like it was inside and I think it was right before the main person came on and someone just lit up a ciggy like right in front of us. I'm like, that's stinky. I don't want to... And then they're blowing the smoke like backwards.
Sounds like something you would have done.
No, not inside a venue where you're not allowed to smoke.
You do it inside a plane where you're not allowed to vape.
No, I don't.
No, you don't.
I would never do such a thing. But yeah, that was been... And also, the lighting, whoever was doing the lighting, I don't know.
Now that Jared's a VJ, everyone else's lighting sucks.
No, 'cause he doesn't do lighting. This was like the coloured lights.
The coloured lights.
That flashed out. I think some people must have complained because it got better towards the end of the night. But at the start, didn't matter where I went, it just seemed to constantly like hit me like directly in my eyes and was like blinding me. Like,
they're called flutters.
Like they were like spinning around and stuff, but it was like directly like just hit. And then like, Jared was saying the same thing, so I think enough people, it must have been happening to everyone. They mustn't have had them like positioned properly.
Oh yeah, the ones that swing around now, with bands like the Angels used to have them. The Angels, back when I supported them for a little bit, their light show was just white lights. That's all they had, no colours at all. But then they had their blinders, which was just a wall of lights behind them, just shone in everyone and just blew out. You couldn't see anything but white.
It got better as the night went by. I kept getting blinded in the first like 2 hours and I was like, ouch, my eyeballs. But there was that, and then I didn't really do too much except for went to the in-laws for dinner on Sunday, for Easter Sunday. My mum was meant to come, but she was unwell. But she still made the dessert, and then this was after she told me that she was sick and that she still made the dessert. I was like, She's like, don't worry, I wore food handling gloves. I'm like, well,
and dipped her finger in the cream and licked it.
I was like, I hope you did wear the gloves. It was a really interesting... Have you? You probably have. I haven't. Something called bread and butter pudding.
Pudding, yes. It's famous.
She kind of made like that.
What do you mean kind of made that?
Well,
she either made that or she didn't make that.
Well, it was with hot crust buns.
Nah, never heard of that.
Yeah, that's...
No, bread and butter pudding, it's an old dessert for back in the Depression days. It's all the off bread just before it starts going mouldy. You'd put it into the thing and they'd put milk and butter in there and a bit of jam and they'd bake it and it'd become like this soggy, bready...
Well, this was with hot crust buns, and then she made like a caramel sauce to go with it. So in my mind, I was like...
the old one never had caramel sauce or hot crust buns.
That's why I was thinking it was meant to... Well, it was meant to be like an Easter dessert thingy. But I was thinking it was going to be like reminiscent of sticky date pudding because of like the flavour of the hot cross buns with like the sultanas and the cinnamon and stuff. And then with the caramel sauce, I was like, oh, it's going to be like sticky date pudding.
I can't imagine what it tastes like. Was it milky?
Kind of. I don't know. I didn't really rate it that much.
Yeah, it's proper bread and baked pudding. It's just milk baked with bread, soaking in milk with some butter and a bit of jam to add the flavour because they couldn't afford anything.
It was hard to eat as well because like their hot cross buns are like, they were cooked and then they went back in the oven and the tops of them went like super hard. So it was really, I don't know.
Maybe that's why your mum didn't come.
But then also I was eating...
Has she had it before? Did she make it up?
It's Julie, like my mother-in-law, she found the recipe and was like, because Mum was going to make just a sticky date pudding. She makes a really good one of those. But then Julie was like, oh, I found this, maybe make this because it's Easter. And I did not really rate it that much.
Sorry, Julie.
No, it was not her fault. It wasn't her recipe. She found it and thought...
Well, you were going to get sticky date if it wasn't for her opening her mouth.
Yeah, but
So it was Julie.
That's
you're
not her
complaining about your
fault.
mother-in-law already.
No.
You've been married for a day. Well, that's right, back on the marriage again.
And, but then even I was eating mine and was like, I don't have any sultanas in mine.
I didn't think you liked sultanas.
I don't mind them.
I remember you saying somewhere that you didn't like them.
I don't mind. I don't hate them.
There's no alcohol in them. You said it's a wasted grape. Dehydrated, you had a name for it. You said something like...
Dead grapes?
Oh, I can't remember. It's like petrified grape. Well, that's what they are. They're grapes, they stick out in the sun.
I know. But mine didn't have any, and I was like, oh, so mine was literally just like bread.
Maybe yours was the depression bit.
I think it was. And then when I spoke to Mum, she's like, I couldn't remember if you liked the fruitless ones. So I was like, who likes fruitless hot crust buns?
My son-in-law, he doesn't like the fruit. He gets the chocolate.
Oh, yeah, but that's different. These are the
Well,
ones
that's fruitless.
that's different. That's got
No, it's still fruitless.
that's got the chocolate in it. Whereas these are just like bread with cinnamon.
Well, that's what the bread and butter pudding was. It was pretty much bread.
Anyway,
Anyways.
that was my thing. And then, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
It's quiet.
I said, I was pretty quiet.
You're pretty quiet. So you had a late one on Thursday night, a late one on Friday night, and you stole Anne for Saturday night.
Sunday night.
That's it.
It was Sunday.
Sunday night.
Still, I didn't really do too much.
Well, that's normal. You just sit there and drink, isn't it?
Yeah.
And play game.
I didn't play a game with Anne because music tastes would be far too different. Beth Anne came over and she got to see my little house, meet my big cats. When she saw Grip, she's like, Grip, and she like lets him sniff her, and then she's like, can I pick him up? I'm like, yeah, of course. And she goes, whoa, he's really heavy. Yeah, he's fat. I take him to the vet, but I know the vet's going to tell me he's fat, and I'm going to be like, well, you duh.
So have you got the second feeder yet?
No.
So he's eating both his food and Gandalf's in the morning.
No, I don't know who has the automatic feeder food. I don't know I think we have.
I would say the fat one does. I don't think the skinny one is eating.
Yes, she is.
So it only goes off once.
Yeah.
So what's the use of that with two cats?
I think they share it. In my mind, they're sharing it. And then I feed them.
Do you see them in real life sharing a bowl?
I'm asleep, that's why I have
No, in real life, when you're awake, they'll eat out of the same bowl.
Well, they do
side.
swapsies.
No, I didn't say that. I said eat out of the same bowl.
I have seen them eating fishes out of the same bowl. I have.
So you've only had one bowl out and they've both gone to the one... No, two bowls, that's swapsies.
No, but then I see them both go to one bowl, but then there's another one there. I'm like, you guys are a bit special, aren't you? There's another one right there.
No.
I don't know. He got a heckin' spray of water this morning, though, speaking of my cat.
A haircut?
No, like a hecking spray, like a really big spray.
I thought you said that doesn't work.
Oh, it worked this morning and Jared blasted him with the water because he was climbing the curtains and I heard this massive big thud, so I don't know if he like fell down off the curtains.
Jaron needs to get one of those super soaker guns. It's the guns that like fire water bullets. He needs to get that. Which you just sit there and bang. And it's just, you won't end up with a soaking wet bedroom.
Well, then I heard a massive big, so I don't know if he jumped down or if he fell down, but then I felt really bad for him because he was sitting in the hallway sulking. But he needs to learn that you can't climb curtains.
Have you gone online to look up how to stop them doing it? No. What's a grunt sounds? You haven't. Whereas that's what I've done to train my dogs. Look how well trained they are. They're both sitting there beautiful and calm.
Mine normally do that, just not at 6 o'clock in the morning when one of them decides to climb the curtains.
We've got them pretty well trained at home, toilet trained.
They're not toilet trained here.
But now they go out. I caught Belle faking it.
To get a treat.
To get a treat. She ran out there and pretended to squat to get a treat.
That's cheeky.
It is. So you shouldn't squat on a paver because you can see nothing came out when you walked away from it. On the grass, you can't see that.
You don't have grass.
On the garden beds. Yeah. Anyways.
I was going to look at our little topics.
Are you looking at my topic? Get out of my... Get your own. Have you done podcasts from last week?
What do you mean have I done podcasts for
the thumbnail?
Like, I asked you about that before, and then I couldn't remember, and then I wanted to listen to it to find something that we spoke about, but then you were recording. I couldn't make noise. And I was trying to remember what we spoke about. But we talked too much shit, so I can't remember if we spoke...
So why didn't you just put a big turd on this? We've done that before, I think. Didn't we do a hanky
Yeah, you
once?
did an NFT.
NFT, that's right.
But because we talk so much, I couldn't... Sometimes what we've said on a podcast and what we've just said, what we've been sitting around yapping blurs into one. I'm like, was that just a conversation we had, or did we have that on a podcast?
If it was inappropriate, it's on the podcast. I'm just going to delete the one.
That's like why I forget. That's why I end up repeating myself, is because I talk so much I can't remember who I've said something to. So I start saying it again.
Leave the poor person alone. They're just walking to work.
That's why I end up repeating
Once
myself.
it's about 10 years old, surely everybody in the world has heard that story and your variations to it, where you add people that have nothing to do with the story. Even your mum, that's where you got that from, is your mum. She was telling a story the other day. She added these people in the good bit for... So what were they to do with the story? Oh, they lived down the road. But they got nothing... But they lived in the road that the story's about. But they're not in the story. Well, they are now because I just mentioned them.
But then things like when I mention to people about being born in Saudi, they're like, what? I didn't know that. And I'm like, I feel like everyone knew that.
You were born in Saudi?
Born.
See
this, and I think everyone knows that, but then there are people
you can't even remember that.
I know what happened. It says so on my passport. So this is why I'm like, oh, maybe they haven't heard this story. Maybe I'll start telling it and then you can tell me if you've heard it or not.
That didn't work. That's the second time.
If it's in your favourites, it won't work.
So everyone's got to listen to me talk to my wife.
No, you could always cut it out.
No. Yeah. That's all right, I don't care. Yeah. About 7. All right, see ya. My wife could not get a leg of lamb for Anne for tea tonight, so she's got her a leg of pork. What?
I was just checking it was still working.
Why wouldn't it be working?
I don't
Why would you
know.
break it?
I'm just checking.
I was going to bring... Yeah, I've got it in my list to talk about. I was going to bring up on... It was Thursday. On Thursday, someone's lost their kid up at Linda Golf Course in the playground. It's a very big open playground, isn't it?
Yes,
You can see everywhere.
Yes.
And it's a 5-year-old autistic kid. How do you lose?
I don't know.
Don't you just have collars and that on
Oh,
people?
no.
No, but what I mean is, anyway, helicopters all night long. And, you know, in our backyard, the full lights on, and they're going around everywhere, and you could hear people yelling out his name, but this kid can't talk because his autism doesn't allow him to speak.
It's non-verbal.
Non-verbal. And then he ended up getting found by a mountain bike rider who was just riding a trail. It was 8 kilometres away.
It's a really long way away.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, and I could hear this music, and it didn't make any sense to me. And like his favourite song was Hickory Dickory Dock, and they had it playing out of the helicopters to try and get him to... They thought he was hiding. They thought the Hickory Dickory Dock would have got him out of the...
That's poor kid. He must have been so scared.
Why would he run away?
I don't know.
Anyway.
But yeah, that is like a really
I still
big...
find that if you've got...
That's a really big, like, open area.
It's a big open area. For you to have to not be looking at the kid for a fair while.
Yeah, for them to, like...
Get to the bush from the playground area.
Yeah. I don't know.
You don't know.
I wasn't there. At least it's good that they did find him, though. But 8 kilometres is ages.
Yeah, for a 5-year-old
Yeah.
kid.
Do you reckon maybe he could have been abducted? And, like, that's why they
Well,
couldn't...
he can't tell anyone about it.
There you go. Maybe that's what happened, and he got abducted, and then
There'd
they
be
got
more
dropped.
chance...
And that's why they couldn't see him in, like, a big open field.
Oh, it's conspiracy theory. You reckon Dan Andrews is up there?
What has he got to do with the prize?
Trying to get the blame on him.
Oh, God.
But in the mornings, I had to go down and get some more nails to do my roof. My inner roof. And they've started that little market back up in Montrose again. Now all the roadworks are finished. What are you looking at?
Just making sure my
I thought
microphone
you were checking
was...
them out. I was seeing if they
Just making sure my microphone was still on.
So I went in there and there was a... so I've been meaning to build a couple of little bird boxes. I told you the budgie died, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Went all
alright.
fluffy and then he didn't fluff anymore.
Oh, that's really sad and morbid.
So I saw and I thought, yeah, I want to get a couple of little... So we've got a lot of tiny little native birds now have all moved in. So I got myself a couple of insect boxes. Well, they're like little nests the insects can have sex in. It's like a brothels for insects.
What?
And then the birds can eat them as they come out of having sex.
That's horrible.
What? Well, they shouldn't play up on their partner.
How do you know they're not with their partner?
Well, don't take a partner to a brothel.
What if they're trying to find some? What if they're with their partner just looking for somewhere?
In a brothel.
No. How do you know it's a brothel?
So I put sexes now at the top of the humming. Yeah, anyway, so I went there and they had the little insect things or one. And I couldn't find a price on, and there's about 20 guys there. So there's a stall run by the Men's Shed, and in Australia the Men's Shed is
I think it's like men's mental health.
men's mental health. So it's just like little community groups that get together regularly, like they have 2 or 3 nights a week, and they go up there and make and build things and talk about their depression, which is basically women related.
Oh. How do you know?
We don't see any women at the Men's Shed.
Because it's for men only. Because men.
No, it's because the women drove them there.
No, because women talk about that stuff openly. Men don't like talking about their feelings.
Oh,
But you should.
We should.
You should talk about your feelings.
I've spoken about my feelings all the time. How much you give me the shits and... Anyway.
I think it's a good thing. I think men need to talk about their mental health more often.
More often.
Yeah.
Rather than just go out and get a gun and kill everyone.
Yes. Actually talk about
Makes the news. More people are made aware of the problems.
it. No, you need to
If they
talk.
just walk into the bush and top themselves, nobody ever hear about it.
They need to talk about their feelings more often.
Oh, all right. So anyway, so they've got a whole heap of stuff that I thought, oh, and I couldn't find price on things. And it'd be one thing had a price on it, 20 didn't. So I went up to someone and goes, oh yeah, everything's priced. I went back there and I'm turning these things inside out and upside down. And I've gone back and goes, oh, it must have fallen off. It'll be on that one over there. So bring that one. No. And it must have taken me 5 minutes to get someone to come over. And he goes, oh yeah, nothing's been priced. John's in charge of that. Does anybody know where John is? And John goes, he wasn't coping very well, so he's gone out to sit in his car. He wasn't coping with having to price things.
Oh.
And the men's shed's not doing a very good job.
Well, I don't know, maybe he's got some, I don't know, past... Sorry about the noise.
It's that time when the roller door goes down.
Yes, I know, I'm just saying sorry.
You're giving it... You're lost for words or you're waiting for the door to shut?
I was waiting for the door to shut.
If you talk, they can't hear the door.
Oh, okay. Well, that's annoying. And it's also annoying when people like just want to pass like the buck like that. It's like just...
A little bit like you. Would they just look properly? It's there. Look in description. You go in description. Oh. Someone must have took it out of description.
I don't say that.
What?
But I don't.
Oh. Someone must have. Anyway, I did find it was
No, I just
funny because it ended up being like 5 guys standing around and none of them knew how to price anything.
Yeah, like...
Don't you just have a price list?
Exactly. And
No, what's his name who's in the car rocking back and forward knows it off the top of his head. Maybe he's rocking back and forward because he forgot it. He maybe forgot one and confused the rest. Maybe he was the abductor of the little boy.
Maybe he would. Maybe that's why he was rocking back and forth.
Anyways, I put my little nest up.
You put just for your insects.
Insects nest, brothel up.
So that the birds could eat them. That's
they
like
come out
kind of
afterwards.
psycho.
Why?
Because it is.
The insects were put on this planet to feed other animals, and the bees were put to spread the pollen. That's their job in life.
There was this, we watched an episode of Black Mirror last night and they had but there was another episode about this as well, but they have like mechanical bees because the rest of it's like something where like bees have gone extinct. Because isn't that a thing that we're like losing bees in real life?
Yeah, America's killing them.
So in this, they like
I think they
mechanical bees.
Like 100 billion bees a year from other countries because their pesticides are killing them all, but they need the bees there to
pollinate, to have sex with the plants.
Fuck the plants over. They should just make impossible plants.
Impossible plants.
Well, they made impossible meat, so why don't they use meat to make plants?
I don't like the impossible meat. I like Beyond Patties though. Beyond Patties are good. They don't taste...
You've seen a rat dies in a month if it just eats the impossible meat.
I haven't seen that, but
yeah, it's a true thing. It's not...
Well, I don't like I like the flavour of the Beyond ones, but the impossible ones just taste like bland meat.
I just eat meat.
I know, like, I do.
It has less chemicals in it.
But when Grilled first bought out, which is a burger place here, they first brought out started using the Beyond Patties because I like the flavour. Like, they've got a really nice flavour to them. So I'd get the crispy bacon and cheeseburger, but I'd get a Beyond Patty instead.
And then sit next to a vegan and say, I'm trying, all right? 10% of this burger is not meat. Oh, yeah, that's normal. It's bread and lettuce and...
I like the flavour.
You vegan killer.
I like the flavour of it. And
sound like the type of person that goes to a Palestinian protest with the Italian flag.
Oh, my best friend actually...
So it was your friend who...
When we were at Tomorrowland and I made...
the flags were...
I put a video up of the crowd and put it on my story and my best friend replied being like, oh, like, you know, you might get like a bit of backlash from like this. And I was like, what? Why? She's like, the flag. And I was like, the Mexican flag. She's like, oh, whoops.
Well educated.
My bad.
That's Australian schooling for you.
But then she's like, well, it's got the same colours in it. Bless her cotton socks.
The cotton of the socks.
Yeah. Yes. Good old Australian schooling system. I don't even know maths.
Yes, you watch it all the time.
Maths, no, I don't know math. I'm very challenged when it comes to it.
But you did your starting schooling overseas. So you got to, oh, that's right, because you're female in Middle East, they don't teach you. You go in there and they pretend they're teaching you something, but it's not.
I don't
You
know.
as a kid, yeah, I know, that's what I said.
I don't know, I just never understood math.
But you did learn that your pet cats eat your pet mouse.
Obviously not, because I got a pet mouse while I had a pet cat. And that didn't end very well.
You had pet fish too, didn't you?
No, I had turtles.
Turtles.
But the cat didn't eat them. He just killed the mouse.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I know. Poor thing.
It's all right, Gidget came running in the other day and there's something, I just thought it was a big bit of leaf.
Mm.
Ran down to a basket and sat there and all of a sudden it goes,
What was it?
cicada. And I've gone down to get it and she's going,
Yeah.
and all this yellow stuff came out of her mouth. And she was going, so I don't think she'll eat cicadas again, I think.
So this is why I'm glad that my cats are now like indoor only. Well, not that Sissa.
Oh, you don't come home and find bits of animal all throughout the house and this poor tortured thing, like you've entered sore.
Well, Sis, like my ragdoll has never done anything like that, but Gandalf used to. I think Grim would. But they don't go outside. Grim's never been outside in his life.
One of the models, I won't mention her name, but she was a vegan and very, animal friendly and that, and she had 4 cats and she lived in an area that you're not allowed to let cats out at night, but she just let them out at night. And I said, that's killing all their natural Australian wildlife and that. She goes, well, cats need to be able to play.
Get them toys.
So it's all right for your cats to go, they're not killing to eat, they're killing to play.
Or they're killing...
That's why I gave up fishing.
Well, they also... Apparently they bring you home things because they think that they don't see you hunting and so they think you're useless. So they bring
Well, why didn't you tell their cats, I'm a vegan, I don't eat animals?
I think it's kind of cute that they think we're useless. It's kind of sweet. But it's also
I
extremely
can
gross.
understand why Gandalf might have thought that.
I think so.
And Sissa might have thought that.
She's never killed anything.
Oh.
I don't think she's ever even bit me. She's the most...
Oh, that's right, yeah, but she's one of those inbred breds.
Yes.
Yes. Would never live in the real world if it wasn't for humans.
She's just bred to look pretty.
Bred to look pretty. I was interested in that thing jumping off the company got the Beowulf. Beowulf. What they're doing. Direwolf, that's it. What they're working on with our cane toad problem.
What's that?
Well, where the cane toads come from, there's animals there that eat the cane toad and the poison doesn't affect them. Mm. So they have found the DNA gene, the one single DNA number or whatever, that stops cane toad poison killing something, and they're trying to put that DNA thread into the quoll that would normally eat frogs. Mm. And that way the quoll's not going to go running around eating something it's never ate before, but it'll now not die when it eats cane toads.
Well, there you go.
And that'll all happen, and all of a sudden we'll have cane beetles will be running right over.
Oh, fascinating.
Whenever humans try and change Mother Nature, they just make it worse.
I do. I do.
What are you looking at? Are you bored?
No, I was just checking things. Just making...
You're bored?
I'm not bored.
You went to your list, saw you had nothing on there, Because you're trying to read my list that means nothing to you.
So I was going to ask you why you wanted to talk about Ozempic for. Speaking of humans screwing with Mother Nature.
It was just something that the seed was planted by one person and I've just seen it explode. And then I saw something on the weekend somewhere and it was all these people praising the overweight people and their bigger sisters and standing by them and all of that thing. And sort of we need to change the industry. Every one of those people now taking Ozempic skinny and just completely ignore their fat sisters. So you want to get skinny? You take this shit. I'm not gonna beg for you anymore. You just take these.
No, it's not just take them. Well, someone I know, I'm obviously not going to say who, but they were like thinking, like, oh, maybe I'll just get on that. And then they found out that you have to inject it, and they're like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. It's an injection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, just you. You want to get skinnier?
Yes, I could.
You could.
But it wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't you.
I could, but no, then people, although I feel like the people saying give the girl a burger seems to have stopped in recent years. I think once everyone became all like, you shouldn't body shame, I feel like that.
No, it still happens.
Yeah, but not as much. I feel like it used to be a lot worse.
Oh, yeah, because they'll get backlash not just from the author, from other people around as well.
Yeah.
There's a bit of that. Yeah.
But I feel like it used to be a lot worse.
I still think it's there.
No, I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying it used to be worse.
Yeah, I still see it.
Yes. Okay.
And I always answer, I gave them a burger and they ate it and then throw it up again. That didn't help one little bit. The trick is you don't give them toothbrushes. No, it's like the tattoo thing. There's still that generation of...
The tattoo thing cracks me up.
Yeah, someone's saying the other day something about trying to find a clean-skinned girl this day is impossible.
No, it's not.
Well, it is when they go to the hookers and the strip bars and...
I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, a lot of girls these days might have predominantly no tattoos, but they might have some little tiny, like, something or, like, something.
Yeah, it's still a tattoo.
Yeah, but it might be, like, something, like, tiny. I'm not saying that everyone's got, like, gigantic tramp stamps like I do. Or, like, full sleeves. Like, it is possible to find girls.
No, they're not... Yeah, I don't think they're talking about full sleeves. I think they're just talking about tattoos in general.
Yeah. I don't know. But there still is plenty of people around that don't have them. You don't.
I'm not a girl.
You could be.
No, I can't.
You could be anything you want to.
No, there's only two genders.
Yeah, but a female's a gender. You could be anything you want to in this day and age.
Can I?
Apparently.
I want to be a billionaire.
Okay. I don't have any that kind
See, I can't be anything I want to.
I can't help you there. Well, I can't give you $1 billion because I don't have it. It would be nice if I did.
There's so many things I want that I can't have. You can't say, I want to live on another planet.
I think they were taking expressions of interest for people to go to Mars. I don't know if they still are.
Go to Mars to what? For a holiday?
No, like you can't come back.
Katy Perry came back.
She didn't go to Mars. She went to like the very edge of space.
Did she really?
I don't know. You seem to think she didn't.
I know a lot of the footage doesn't seem like real footage. How clean the pod was when it landed.
Yeah,
the door opening thing. Have you seen the door opening thing?
No.
You haven't. And I showed you the space rockets when I told all the dry ice, like cold gas that's all over them, and their rocket didn't seem to have it. The other rockets,
but what
fuel burns so bright, it's just white. Theirs was orange, like someone holding a match.
What do they get out of faking it?
Well, they did it. What did they get out of faking man on the moon?
I don't know. I don't.
Did they do that?
I don't know. I wasn't born, so I don't know.
You haven't seen the movie about the faking of it?
No, I haven't.
It's a movie.
I haven't seen that. But what would they get out of faking it?
They beat Russia to it.
No, I mean like this latest thing with like Katy Perry and like other people.
We're back.
We're back. Sorry, camera just died.
It got becked.
This seems to be.
It's you. I've put
me.
it down to you as a jinx.
It seems to be since we've changed to 4K, things seem to be dying.
What?
I don't know.
What's died since 4K?
The cameras.
No, you ran out of battery because you didn't turn their big battery on earlier today and it used most of the little battery. I'll blame other people.
It was John's fault because he was sitting in the car rocking back and forth.
Yeah, that's because he was your teacher in Saudi Arabia and that's what you've done to him. So he tried as hard as he could to get you to understand a battery actually puts power into something and something won't work without the battery. And eggplants don't come with batteries.
I don't know, sometimes they might. Oh my goodness.
Goodness gracious me, is this...
Well, I think we've pretty much done it for this week anyways.
We've done it all right.
Unless you had any final words of wisdom.
No, I've got a list that I can leave for next week.
We still haven't gotten to.
We still haven't gotten to.
Yes.
Yes.
I was
can
thinking
take
that before because
Ozempic off.
Because we didn't really speak about photography, so I was going to start going through that list, but we can talk about that next
But
week.
you don't know there's a big, big, long list, but you
Yeah.
don't know why I've got all this writing with my dyslexia and not being able to.
I don't know if I do actually.
I have enjoyed something, just to quickly finish off. Bec hated my title from my last YouTube. And I did it because it was so wrong. And that's why I did it. The whole idea was it's not right. So for my next title, I'm going to purposely misspell it. So I don't think people are happy unless they can correct you about something you've done bad with your grammar. Like someone was having a go at me, and I've read he's having a go at me, but he didn't make himself clear that my thing about it's not about the gear. He's having a go at me for the bad grammar. But he didn't say about the bad grammar. Anyway, it was quite funny. And then when it got to the end, I said, it was a joke. And he didn't bother to answer again. Ha.
Ha ha.
Ha.
So funny.
So funny. Anyway,
Anyway,
we'll see you next week.
we will see you next week.
After Bec's done her Ozempic injections.
See you guys.